of sights have been such a big thing that have been starting to become more and more prominent. That's why more so with duelists, you'll see a very few Rays and more so Reynas and Jets, as they sort of have the Lear, the Smokes, and even arguably to say Yoru, if there was ever a time Yoru would ever show up. I mean, they have flashes. In theory, the buffs, we're never going to see Yoru. Anyways, I'm going to just forgo that. But here we go. With the agent select, we're finally getting into the game itself. Reunion, having already selected the Killjoy, makes a total lot of sense. But sort of the interesting take here is the Sage. Now, I know there's been starting to become a little more plays with the Sage as the wall is becoming prominent, but I think with just the amount of smokes and flashes you're looking for nowadays, it's an interesting choice, but potentially may work out for them in the future. We'll see if they're rewarded with that wall, as a lot of those classic B pushes are not going to be as fruitful as they would like to be.
I'm inclined to agree again, Bemi. Now it looks like Astra, I'm sorry. KP must have heard you. Just trying to go for that Yoru pick. They are going to go for the Sage instead. We're actually going to be seeing that Astra go to Apex. I believe in the recent Knights tournament, we did see Apex play a little bit more of the Astra game. I don't remember what KP was playing as. It may have been the Sage as well. But Rajante on that Viper, I also think could be a really crazy pick. It's also a scary one on this end.
I mean, Viper's just scary right now. Just the way that the meta has been playing out in the moment is Viper's been getting her time to shine. I know a good friend of mine from a company called Viterom in Eris. She is a crazy awesome Viper main. She's been teaching me all these crazy smokes and one ways and walls, and just the fact that their utility can reach across the entire freaking map if you know how to place your walls. Holy heck, am I scared? The AoE effects of also the snake bite, everything just is so good. I really do think this is going to be a really tough challenge. Again, as much as I am a Sage main myself, I don't question the play, but I question how it will be used and how well it will fare against the other things that will be put up against to it. Will the slow orbs be enough? Will a res do the trick? There's so many questions rushing through my head. Double duelist as well. I mean, this is not something we're seeing more often. If you take a look at VCT or anything else, we're seeing one duelist nowadays. So to go into this with double duelist, it means that maybe they're trying to account for the attack side of this map, or they're trying to just work on being aggressive with their retakes. Either way, a story is about to unfold here with Reform going for this interesting. With Reform just kind of going to be greeted by Reunion's interesting play.
Yeah, a bit of an interesting side push here. We do see the defense, the Viper, going for a very horizontal hold, denying the line of sights going through B main and through mid. But the opening pick's actually going to go in the favor of Jurg. DX is going to go down immediately. The KJ, we talked so much about that utility, can't deny flanks anymore, even if it's just pistols. But
downtime in mid.
As we keep going though, Bemi, look at this though. Pugstar holding back of CT side, barely out of spawn, still hasn't quite gone through just yet. I'm wondering though, the Reunion, they're taking their sweet time going through mid. They may have to reposture themselves to a different site.
Looks like they are. I mean, fortunately with the Omen smokes, you have infinite amount of utility. And speaking of infinite utility, Apex is going to fall back. Will they trigger the stars, though? They only had one left, and they drop it already.
Yeah, they do drop it. That Dark Cover Smoke's going to go down instead. The Pink Grenade in retaliation is going to actually take care of so much of the Omen. Not going to be doing as much damage as I had perceived, but look at that. The curveball is going to come down. Around Jenny, though, having to find these shots. KP dodging and weaving. It's not going to last much longer. Only one left alive inside of Heaven. They try to make it work, but only two left alive. Barely have any health left, especially the Omen who gets the plant down, only to instantly die.
Really good retake right there. Reform not letting their foot off the gas right there. And that's sort of the beauty of having a raise, is just to be able to put on that pressure. Just so much explosive damage can work out in their favor. Doesn't really deny a line of sights, but when they're dead, you know, it doesn't really matter if they have line of sight or not, because they are not a threat anymore. And with that, they'll be able to continue on with their momentum, though. Reunion, again, did what they could. Unfortunately, not finding many frags does not allow them to build up ult economy early into the game, or really any type of economy boost in any way. Reformed almost had near flawless rounds, so already backs a little bit against the wall, but still early to say. They actually are going to invest a little bit into this, which will make the buy round next coming up for Reunion a little awkward if they don't win this out or make it expensive.
A little bit awkward indeed. But look at this though, some more mid prowess. We do see that spike though dodging back a little bit more. Looks like they might try to bring it to a solo journey. I'm not really sure what the plan is with the KJ and the Sage. Do you see Apex though? Hiding away, having that angle, finds one. Can they make it two? The Omen tries to dodge through, throws to the straight. It doesn't matter. Three go down. Holy moly, beautiful work. And now Bemi, only two left alive. Separated away, it seems. The Sova trying to go back for that spike, but one on the other side, though, of the spike. No, I apologize. That's not the case. Jerk does good. The orb, too little, too late. Maybe it seems the shorty's able to find Jerk instead. But now, this last Sova alive, he's in trouble.
Well, not winning the round for sure, but trying to take away as many weapons as possible. Try to deny a bonus round for Reform, but yeah, 22 health. Shoot, they know exactly where they are, and they're gonna just get taken down right away. KP sees through that trick along with their team. Good shot calling right there. Just gets a nice little bit of intel. So again, beautiful. I'm assuming we're gonna check Apex's amazing 3K. Beautiful stuff right there. Just look at the angle of that. Great line of sight. A lot of great jiggle peaks and able to just take them out thoroughly. And again, that was all through a ghost, which makes the money nice and spicy. Reform. They will be able to continue this bonus round. There is a buy round finally coming in for Reunion, but Bunny, because they invested in that ghost, will be on light armor. So will they lose their smokes early, or will they keep them in the back line? Let's find out.
Holy, that wall's going to go up, and I guess it denies the KJ turret. Usually the turret breaks through the wall instantly. I'm not really sure what happened there. Turret's not even up anymore. Maybe it was recall, but the KJ certainly, regardless, does go down. Though it looks like that A side push isn't going to work anymore. We do see a much stronger presence inside of B main. Look at the one inside mid, though. We do see the Omen going on by, trying to lurking their way through. It's the Viper by themselves, bottom of B main. That's going to be a huge problem. In fact, no! That's going to be the only problem now, because Pugstar is able to find Bunny, and it looks like Tucker might have a beautiful line of sight, Bemi.
Tucker could, but... Oh, just barely peeking out the wall. Beautifully done.
Oh, beautifully done indeed. Pugstar's going to rotate around CT side. Not going to find a whole lot of action out of the frenzy, though. It's going to allow Renz to push up a tiny bit more. It does have the curveball. Going to deny away from the boombot. Waiting for this angle. Three are there. It's the final three. I'm sorry, four. Three of the four left. Now it's going to be the final three. Showstopper comes by. Doesn't go for the shot just yet. They don't check their quarters. That's two. Oh, no. Now down to a 1v1. Already ahead 2 points. Pugstar going for the wall banks. Not going to connect to anything, though. Tucker on the other side finds the final shot. Reunion get a point on the board.
If only they had more health, they probably would have been able to win that. But hey, Reform, even though investing into the Showstopper, they made it expensive for Reunion, and that, I think, is almost a win in their book. It was a bonus round after all, you got to mind you. Now you're going to get this wonky buy coming in for Reunion. They have to go up against the defense where Pugstar decides to go for the operator, and that's going to be a humongous threat. Potentially. We'll see if they do that. I mean, again, it's a little bit of a bait, but still focusing on what we know right now is Renz has to run it back, which is potentially at least something good that they can do. Maybe try to get a gun early, but already B main's going to be closed for business, says Pugstar.
Now, we did mention before how we typically only see one duelist now in a lot of North America. It's going to be interesting, though, to see Pugstar. It's almost like a secondary duelist going for the Sova strat inside of B. It's not going to connect with anybody, but he does detect one. It's going to be the spike-wielding Sage, KP having to rotate around. Excuse me, I'm wrong again. It's not going to be KP. It's going to be the other Sage. But now, a lot more presence inside of A, near Catwalk, forcing Apex to maybe rotate on by. They do have the stars. Not sure what effect they're doing. May try to be using a gravity wall or even just the smoke, but it's going to be a 1v potentially 4, depending on how they want to push this. Oh, but look at this, though. DX trying to push on forwards, able to find the shot, but instantly gets traded out by Jerk. That's still going to be a much larger presence for Reform to have to deal with by themselves with just Pugstar.
Oh! Oh, they couldn't act on the information. At least KP was able to get one for the trouble, but the site is open unless Tem...
One for the road, two for the road. Oh, no! Lined up and ready to go like a bowling ball with 2 pins. It's going to be Tem with a 3K to even things up.
That's what we call a spare.
No, a spare is 2 pins, right?
No, yeah. No, a spare is literally just picking up the remaining pins. So they pick up whatever was remaining, as Will said, check back once more. Again, Tim able to take them out easily, beautifully done, just good holding and discipline. And that's also the beauty of also having Tem on here. Like you said, almost like a secondary duelist in some ways can be the Sova. So again, they can hold aggressive positions, mid especially. If you have control of mid, honestly, a lot of times in Ascent, it's starting to become just sort of the winning condition because rotations on this map is absolutely awkward as heck if you get caught off guard very easily. And we just saw that right then and there. Now, Reform being pushed back a little bit, having to go slightly on the eco. We'll see what they can do here with these weapons. Fortunately, they're on defense, so they may be able to steal something.
Wow. Okay, the instant revive does come down. One body's already gone. It's gonna be Jerk. Not sure where DX was able to find them. Looks like they may have fell near B or maybe even mid. Oh no, it's an A main. But one thing I just realized, Bemi, is that it's a split. That's 2 pins, not a spare. But look at that, though. You got to spare that one. Rens is able to find Verjante instead. Beautiful work. That's full B control for Reunion side. Now, like you mentioned, we do have to see a bit of a stronger mid presence coming out from Reform. They have these rotates that they need to use, but Apex has been on a tear recently. Being able to clear out almost all of mid. We do see the plan coming down, Bemi, but I'm wondering, how can Reform take this back?
I don't know if they're going to try to. Maybe just try to get some exit frags. I mean, again, they're on the eco at the moment, so if they don't win the round, they're not going to feel too bad for themselves, but they're going to feel amazing if they continue to wait some guns.
Ooh, things are looking better now. Brents is able to find one, but it's just Trade City all throughout, trying to go for another one. Overextends a tiny bit more. Reform goes down. That's 3 for Reunion.
All right, good attempt. Made it expensive, so they're keeping the economy back and forth pretty close, which is nice. Another massive thing to discuss is that they do have the counter alt ready with Pugstar if the lockdown were to happen. So that's a good assurance if they want to use that. The only thing is that, mind you, they don't have too many offensive ultimates on the defense, so they need to kind of play this aggression like Apex has as well, just so that they can make sure that there's not too much pressure being put on them, because the more pressure they get put on, the less time they have to set up for attacks and such. It's going to give them a hard time to be able to try to retake it because of the lack of offensive utility they have.
I completely agree. And the thing, though, with Rajante and with Apex as well is that they have some very great retake abilities with all their different walls, assuming that, KP already used their wall. They can't use it for the post plan. Having the Viper wall and the Astra wall with her ult, that's fantastic. And if Reunion falls into that trap in the post plant, there's not much they can really do. Of course, speaking of that post plan, we may potentially see that soon. Everyone posing their way forwards. We did see the posturing KJ all on side of A, distracting everybody, all but one still on side of B. The IGL waiting by themselves, though. Still waiting around. Pugstar's able to find one, maybe make it 2. He's going to miss on the rest, but now everyone else has been given enough time to rotate. 42 seconds left now. We have to see what Tem can do. The wall goes down. May have an angle, though, against KP, but KP has the drop. This is going to be their time to rotate. They have to make a mass exodus, but DXR has already made so much progress. They might be able to find the flank or a counter flank, especially with the 3 rotating around. We've seen this happen before. Pugstar's able to get away. 2 left alive, though. Astra's going to stop for a tiny bit more. Gets distracted, though, goes down. We're not going to see that wall. But what about the Viper one? DX gets away just in time, but gets taken out by Pugstar instead. 3 left alive now. Reunion only having seconds to spare. Needs to go for the plant. Have to see what happens next. Jerk is able to find one, though, but they're all going to go with the entire feed. Finds Reunion. And it's going to be 3-3 again with a half. Well, I'm sorry, with the split.
May have not all the offensive utility in the world, but they certainly have a very aggressive raise at the moment. That certainly has been helping them climb their way back through and keep things pretty close overall, especially with Apex, but really got to give it up to Jerk a lot of times, taking that initiative. Now, going into this, they have, once again, the Showstopper available for them and are pretty much ready to go with also potentially the AoE of the Viper Pit. They so desperately want to go to. It seems like still again a very respectable back and forth. We'll see. I really do want to see Rens drop this run it back soon, though. Again, it is an ult that you kind of build very quickly as a Phoenix in theory. So to use that, get an early pick and information is like a big win condition.
Oh my god! Jerk! What a beautiful play! You're a duelist! Well, I guess we're not going to see the running back now. It's completely gone.
Can't run back from that.
No. His legs are broken, so much so that he died. But now Rajante and Jurek have a beautiful pinch here. One's inside logs. Tucker by themselves may have to push up here. We do see DX trying to come on forwards and help out a tiny bit more, but it might be too little too late. Of course, they're silent, but still, Tucker only having eyes on one side. It's gonna be Jurek who finds the opening. Engagement goes down. Rajante, though, still holding down the site. Finds one. The spike carry goes down. Tucker would need to reposition. The Molly goes down instead. Oh, but gets away barely with her life. Can they get the spike? Molly number 2 instead. I think they're able to get away with it. The revive does come down. Revives Renz. He can maybe run it back yet again here. Rajante needs to reposition. Oh, we're seeing double revives.
Exposed.
You're right. Oh, no, it doesn't do a whole lot. Is able to revive Renz, though, a little bit more. Rajante waiting. Has the angle, does find the Phoenix. There's another one, but it immediately goes for the trade. He was baited out. I'm wondering now what's going to happen with Reunion. The bodies are now 2 and 2. KP on rightmost stairs. The other one bottom of highway. Tucker and company going for the split push. Able to almost connect. KP finds one instead. The final one. No, it's going to be traded instead. They don't know where Jerk is. He's around the corner. Rosie Posey finds it instead.
Be fortunate for them that Jerk was able to frag out once more to be able to secure that round, but I think that's the second or third time that we've seen Tem able to take advantage of mid. These commit into the sites and early rotates have punished them a couple of times here on the side of Reformed. They need to be aware that Tem seems to take advantage of mid quite frequently, and they need to read into that play very soon. Fortunately for them, they don't have to worry about that right now as the eco round will come in. Seems to be like there will be only a rush coming in now. See if they can find any value here. Maybe just get the plant going. Not much to report back from this round. It's just Sheriffs and the Vandal leading the charge.
Yeah, it makes me wonder why Renz chose to go for the Vandal instead. He's the only one on their team with a rifle of any sort. Hopefully, though,
I think.
That's true, but you still want to keep your economy, somewhat in line with the rest of your team. Maybe, if anything, the rest of the Reunion could bait out Renz or be bait for Renz to find maybe a trade. Everyone else picks up a rifle. Pugstar's going to fall because of that. But the rest of the trades, he's almost the last one alive. He may just have to opt to play safe, do some economic damage, and just hold back.
Yeah, I've seen it before historically in other money gun games, but even then with their type of Vandal and Sheriffs, it was a little more of an aggressive push, and they would just kind of freight train in and just move on in. But unfortunately, a lot of times they do play very passively because they don't want to lose value on this rifle that kind of almost gives them this false sense of needing to play it safe where they should have just played it aggressively. Oh, but that Molly and the utility kills right here.
It's a sandwich. A sandwich. Oh,
Indeed.
No. That's not a great way of putting things now. We do see one inside of mid, though, marketplace. It's going to be Apex. Renz, of course, having that Vandal, wants to execute onto a site, which I think is a little odd. 3K for Apex. Maybe make it a 4K, but Rajante is going to steal it away instead.
A lot of back and forth, nicely done. Makes it expensive, fair enough. Will be good to buy into the next round, though, so they should be good. And everything works out for itself. A little bit of an extra money for Bunny, but fair
money in the
enough
bank.
to not... Yes. Yes, Tech. Good job. Good job. We're shaking off the rust now. I'm starting to feel it again. I'm starting to feel it, but also who's starting to feel it is right now is Reform winning a few rounds in a row. I wonder if we're going to see this also flip on its head for Reunion, but I have a feeling at the moment, oh, the whiff shot, we'll see. I don't know. I don't know if that's an omen for things to come.
Yeah, it makes me wonder, too. Oh, Pugstar's playing such a dangerous angle here. I mean, he's not going to be where your crosshairs are expecting. But still, yeah, that might be a problem. Bit of a straight push there from DX instead. The wall's going to go down. May give tell that it's an execute going towards a side demi. But they're playing a lot more aggressive than usual. KP, especially, too, right on the other side of the smoke, is surrounded by the enemies. If they push up, they're going to be taken down by the other safe. But they're able to find one before range true.
No ability trade, though, will make them have the disadvantage player-wise, and they're actually just going to fall back, knowing that they're so heavily invested into A, just smart choice, See how they do with this Viper, but I think they should be ready and good for it. Unless they give them a bunch of 1v1s, already Tucker's not going to be traded out, and that brings it back to an even player score.
I've always really enjoyed Rejante's playing. Look at that crosshair placement. It's not fidgeting at all. They have to move on by into the paranoia. Goes down to the highway side. Might be able to find one already on site, but it's Bunny. Five bullets in a dream, excuse me. Oh, but they're playing such a dangerous game. They have that space. They have that pressure there, but Jerk on the other side of the firewall is going to get on by, hacking their way in, finding the spike going down. Phoenix is trying to take it. Unsuccessful. The molly goes down, burning up Jerk a tiny bit more, but there's still spike control. The blast pipe straight into the face of that Phoenix. There's only 10 seconds left. They're able to grab it. I'm behind the green wall, not able to connect, but he's able to find it after the fact. Though Jerk, last one alive now to 1v2. The paint grenade's not going to do a whole lot against that Phoenix. They're going to keep on going by. He's not going to fall for that fake rotated. Oh, Renz is able to clutch up the round.
Doesn't check the corner at all. What the heck? All right, well, whatever. There's only so many things you can check by yourself, but really good try from Jerk right there. Did the best they could with what they had given in that situation. Just, I love the aggressive plays. I'm all for it. You don't have to be always aggressive, but it definitely does welcome, especially with the way that they've been executing as Reunion. But you also need to make sure that you're able to trade with them. KP loved the pick onto the Sova, but getting traded out doesn't help your team at all. It gave them a player disadvantage, and if it wasn't for the fact that that Viper was deadly, it wouldn't have been able to get away with it. They will have the Showstopper online now. They've denied a push, but they've been able to shoot the wall down. Does that mean will they commit to it? Not entirely too sure, but they are ready for it, and there's so many stacked up, and B is entirely free.
It's interesting, too. We haven't seen Rejante play Viper too many times. In fact, they've only played it 5 times in recorded history, but they're doing a really good job putting that pressure on, denying that line of sight, putting the smokes up too, it seems. But I'm wondering, how are they going to deal with this attacking KJ to go down? They're all forced towards CT side, but no one on Reunion's going for the execute yet, Bemi.
No, it just, well, Apex denies. I think they were going for the flank and the push. They really like to control mid before going for B.
Things are not going well now, it seems, for Reunion's side. They may have waited too long, but they're able to flood onto the site. Few inside CT, though. Renz is going to push on forwards. He doesn't know what the one on the immediate left. Of course, he does after his run attack goes down. But no, it's not going to get punished whatsoever with a very interesting placement. Everyone's on site. And a lot of ults, actually, too unused from Reform's side. But the sound cue is only blocking so much. DX is going to fall because of a showstop. But Jerk has a beautiful denial line of sight inside the wall. Small corner, finds one right on the other side. A projectile goes through. What is Tem going to do? He has to push up and immediately goes to die.
So good, dude. Oh my gosh. Absolute chaos in the mix. Able to get that early opening pick as well. Gosh. Anyways, alright. Gotta take that in real quick because that was some big Galaxy Brain plays with the wall there. Absolutely amazing. Love that denial of information on backside and just kind of sneakily crept in and sunk into the walls. If these walls could shoot, they would be called Jerk. And now we're getting ready to see what they can do here with somewhat money. Again, it was a very expensive round, but they've been keeping... Reformed have always kept it expensive for both sides, so they're never too far away from the economy. And they actually have armor advantage here, so Reformed in a great position to just keep the first half to themselves. Maybe get that 7th round finally here.
Could definitely will be a possibility. Oh, but that wall inside mid is interesting. Or I guess that would be catwalks. It's interesting, but we do see that wall breaking down the doorway. The slow orb comes by, denying at least a little bit of a push from KP or against KP. It's only going to do so much. Tucker can be slowed by it. Split push coming out from catwalk and A main. Biding their time, still having a minute left. The other wall's going to go up. It's a bit of a Trojan horse. They're trying to make their way in, but KP's all alone. Slower goes down, catches them off guard. Bunny's able to find it instead. Look at that, though. Reform melting bodies left and right. They're getting melted themselves. Only having 3 left. We have to see Jerk relegate themselves down to hell. Waiting and waiting. Maybe have to find one of the immediate left. Misses all the shots. Bunny with the strafes. Able to find another one to connect. Only 2 left alive now for Reform. This could be the first round of the Wild that they lose. The Viper wall up in retaliation. Rejante needs the drop. This Judge only going to do so much, but doesn't chuck the angles behind. Pugstar again finding another kill with the ult. Has to go up above. 1 left alive now. Lock dart number 1's not going to connect a whole lot. Does some damage to the KJ. Turret's gonna spot them out though. Immediately has to destroy it. Going down now. Unaware of maybe one or even two inside hell. Has to go for the drop. Tries to jump on Jenny. Does succeed. Finds
like
one.
it.
Maybe finds the the toes of two and succeeds. Holy moly, Pugstar. Fantastic work.
Could you defuse and not give me anxiety? Thank you. All right, now I gotta say, a lot of awkward moments from teams. So many clutch moments in this game where like it's down to the last player. Pugstar showing up strong here this time. Was originally Jerk as well, and I think at Apex at some point had a glowing moment or two too. There's also a lot of awkward moments as well where they're pulling out utility right in the face of the enemy, and just the timing of it has been so awkward. It's been such a weirdly back and forth game overall, and still no clear victor. Both of them catching each other off guard, and it feels like individualistic talent is showing up here. But there's certainly, I will say, taking advantage of. Oh my gosh, Keg, please help me.
I'm in a stun lock, Bemmy. That was beautiful to see with the what is it, gravity well? Holy. Definitely not expected. I don't think anyone in that engagement expected that either. Beautifully placed headshot there. But now one inside A main. DXN probably still in the comms screaming back at each other on both teams about what just happened. But DXN now pushing up seemingly by themselves. Rajante seemingly out of far left corner is able to find one. That's the mid push completely gone. Last two alive now in Reunion are left by themselves inside A main, already spotted out by the Sova drone, but they're able to find one in retaliation. DXN's going to take advantage of that, finding one, but dodging a weeding. Pugstar's able to get away from the blast, but that's a double kill coming down. Now, Rajante, remember him, he found that kill from B main. He has to rotate all the way around, back into mid, through CT spawn, and go to heaven. We saw exactly this go down last time. They were able to find it on the defense, a double kill doing so. But Rajante, different person from last time, though, is able to find the drone, maybe make history twice. The other one's evacuating, though. They don't want to go through the same thing again. It was DXN and that Sova before who fell before. They don't want to go through that same story. In fact, they're able to take advantage of it, and 10 finds it instead.
Fortunately, Rajante might have been a good idea to check tree. Felt the pressure of the spike, and there you have it. But hey, 7-5, an amazing half, does show you why Ascent is such a popular map for best of ones. It's just so close. And the only thing I could really think about is maybe the use of ultimates. They weren't used as frequently as I feel like there could have been. I do wish I would have saw more Rens on the run it back. I think only saw it twice. I felt like they were doing a good job fragging and continuing to get orbs, that they should have been able to get more out of it. But hey, far be it from me. They still kept it really close, and they're doing a great job if they win the pistol round to tie of the series. Now, Jerk is on attack, though. I love a good raise on attack, so we'll see how they fare here. The Killjoy is going to make things tricky, though. Again, Killjoy, utility, on defense. We all know and hate and love, depending on what side you're on, can be very annoying. Those mollies will just go off in your face if you're not safe and aware.
Oh, but it looks like KP already aware of that. Bot is able to put up the wall, denying any sort of CT rotate into Marketplace. But Jerk and company trying to hold down the fort a tiny bit more. We do see company coming on by towards CT side. No one's been rotating just yet, but look at this. It's absolutely a rush down towards highway side. Even if it's just a pistol round, it's a hotly contested one. Apex able to find a double kill, takes down two bodies on Reunion side, but they're heavily lit up themselves. We see 3 left alive, 2 inside CT, and 1 on Marketplace, but Jerk might have those 2 on CT already taken care of. Holding it down, though, backing off a little bit more, giving some space for Reunion. Now they can freely rotate between the upper part of the site, and I'm wondering, is that going to be enough room for them to take it back? A lot of lines of sight denied. DX trying to poke on forwards, just trying to find whatever they can, but Bunny's able to find a double kill before going down themselves. It's an even 2v2, but look at that! Trades galore, KP somewhat saving the day. 1 left alive, the turret's gonna go up. Waiting for KP to strike. They know he's in bow house. They know they are in bow house, but look at that. 1 left alive, able to go for the flick, a triple kill coming out from the IGL.
Thus, KP shows their clutch moment to beautifully done, winning pistol duels, and duels in general seems to be a specialty of KP. Again, can be a very aggressive character, Sage, because what else are you going to do after you drop a wall? Heal your teammate? Yeah, sure, but you could also heal yourself and keep going in W Mouse 1, baby. Now, able to get into this buy round, winning out that pistol. It's a great situation for them. Reform will keep the mission going. Again, even then, the individual talent on Reform is very well known. These are very good players, and Reunion need to still be on their toes. It is a very all-star team they're going up against.
Yeah, definitely going against some demons, though. Keep in mind, too, there are some really good players on Reunion side. DXN, formerly on Space Station Gaming, and before that was on Equinox for a very, very long time. But they are in those in-betweens right now. They are on Reunion side. This free agent team trying to make some work happen, but Bunny on the other side finds an important kill before being clutched out themselves. But now we have to see 4v4. Spike has gone down. This is going to be important for Reunion to bring back. If they're letting these rounds slip away, it's not going to be a good sign to go. Tucker waiting a little bit longer. Knows Pugstars in B main. 2 and actually going to be on stairs. Dirk's able to find 1. Make it a triple kill across the round into a 4K.
As much as you can do with the eco. Now preparations have gone for the buy. Union did what they could. They are definitely trying their best to be able to get some momentum going on here. They really need to make this count. Otherwise, this bonus is going to bite them in the butt. You see that investment of weaponry over health as they now want to just have the firepower to overwhelm them. They need to be careful about this, though, because lack of health, when you are low on health, even with just some light armor, a Spectre can do you dirty if you don't know where it's coming from. So if it's traded or if it gets you overwhelmed like Jerk did one time in mid, that can bite you easily. But already information gets revealed and they have to back off. So that does give a little bit of information for Reunion that maybe they might be coming over towards A since they were exposed.
Yeah, definitely some valuable information coming on through. Look at this, though. We do see 3 different bodies around A and one side, and of course, Catwalk and Tree. But they're taking their sweet time. It's the Sage who went for the slow. The wall goes up. It looks like no matter where they go, barriers are going to be in Reform's way. My question, though, Bemmy, is are they just going to break it through, go for the curveball, and try to pounce in? Or are they going to have success on Ren's side with the curveball of their own? But we do see the showstopper coming out by, does nail down Ren. They're able to find that going back and forth. Another wall goes up. So much lines of sight denied. But where's that spike? It's got to go down. They have plenty of time, but they have to make it work as well. If it drops down, it could have been bad, but they're able to make it work and have it into the ground itself. Bunny, though, waiting, knows 1 or maybe now just 0 on the other side. 1 still inside of Hell, trying to push their way forwards. We do see KB who gets the miraculous flick, a headshot onto Bunny. 1 of 2 left alive. Only 1 now left alive, actually. It's going to be Tem inside or on top of Heaven. Tries to go for the duelist plays out the Odin. Does have information to work with in a few seconds, but they have to bide their time and wait. We do see, though, the recon dart in case for a flank. It's not going to succeed, though. He drops down Jenny. Here's the footsteps. KP gets it instead.
That's going to be rough. Loss right there. Lot invested. Now they don't really have much money to work with, and Reform is slowly closing this out. Jerk, again, I love when I see duelists use their ultimates the moment they get them, because they do know what to use. They know that the value is just evening up the score. That early pick into rushing with A was one less spot they had to worry about. They allowed the wall to happen. There was just so much going on, and it was a domino effect thanks to Jerk. Really smart play right there to just go ahead and prioritize getting an initial pick. Even if it was a trade, still very strong for them. Reform, now they're very close to closing out this game altogether. They're going to be on the 11th round unless something crazy happens from Union.
But Tam is actually going to be pushing up here. He has a judge. It is a save round. This might be the best play to do, but maybe it's a little overextensive. Jarek is waiting to see if anyone's actually going to fully peek around the corner. Of course, that's probably going to be a no, but I don't know. They're all spread out, or maybe they're concealing themselves a little bit more on Reform's side. They're all banding outside of B main. This is going to be a tough call. Tam could be a playmaker here, but he's got to back off because of the boom bot, and he's already been detected.
Yeah, but they get to fall back, drop the smoke cleverly. Like this call from Reunion, just Again, they do really want to make this as expensive as possible for Reformed. See what they can do here. Right now, it's calm before the storm.
A tough corner. Tem gets pre-fired a little bit more, but finds an
Yeah!
absolute microwave with a triple kill. Oh no. This is an eco round, by the way, for the defending Reunion. They're able to bring it back to a 2v2, sure, but the damage has already been done. They don't have, actually, I apologize, they do have a spike. They have to drop it down now. Last two rotating around from Reunion side towards CT. They can't go for the revive themselves. Angles are being held by Reformed. This is really good of a start for them. The wall goes up, but KP's overextending a little bit. They're not going to immediately check above. Could find some reconnaissance, know that the door hasn't opened up, but the drop is heard. And now the Sheriff wielding Omen crossing on by. Could go for the paranoia here. It's going to block out KP, but they're still able to find the shots there. Puckstar's able to rotate around now. They have a bit of a grasp onto the site, but the Sage is already there.
Oh, no.
And KP's walked off by her own wall. They have to fully rotate around now. Puckstar has to save the day, and they do.
Whew. That got a little awkward there. We had to come from the same direction. All right, well, they're doing fine. Now, we're going to see a quick replay from Tem. Beautiful initial pick. Gotta say, KP, hero of the day, though, able to get that res and close off that frag finally is very massive. Needed to be taken care of, and now Reformed. I mean, to be fair to them, they have been on a couple of bonus rounds already, so their economy is sitting pretty. Like, I don't think they're in that bad position at all. It's possible still Reunion needs to play catch-up a lot. They are backed against the Warriors double time.
I don't know how I feel about this early Hunter's Fury, Bemmy.
No Killjoy, no problem.
True, but it didn't connect with anybody. It didn't really find much information other than realizing it's not going to be an A main push. And even after all that's gone, they just rotate to A anyways.
Nobody on A. Okay.
We do see rotates coming on by from Reunion side, two inside Heaven, or at least the base part of Heaven. But even then, Jerk's already pushed up. He's able to find one, maybe collapse it onto two, and essentially the entire defense is gone. All you have to rely on now is DX from the back, not even enough to get the KJ ult just yet. Has to go along these Viper walls, doesn't want to go for the decay. One waiting on A main, those able to peep up, but even then, they get whack-a-mole by Pug.
It rotates are very early. I gotta admit that. They don't have the proper information. That I understand where your hesitancy comes from. It is sort of difficult to really glean anything from an early Hunter's Fury.
It's not even that a Hunter's Fury is bad. It's just that it was a little too, like, as soon as the round started, they went for it. If they waited,
yeah,
I don't know, 5 seconds.
Could have been more, yeah, for sure. But I guess, you know, when you're this close to not being in the bracket anymore, you just gotta go for whatever you want, I guess. They do at least have information that they are going to be a B push, but they don't really have the weapons to work with. Can Tem pull off another 3K?
Oh, I don't think they will. They already, on Reform side, they already saw what happened before. They're definitely going to watch those angles and try to use some utility there. And if not, no, they can just rotate out of there. Screw the judge. I'm not dealing with that.
Yeah, me either. I respect that.
Oh.
Hello, what's going on here?
It's a death pact. Are they just waiting for Reunion to push on forwards? Again, it's a best of one, match point round. But I'm not sure what Reform's attempting to do. Are they thinking? Maybe they do want to go back to B. Are they trying to bait out the rotates for Reunion? No, it's not a pause.
Okay.
But it allows time to push up a little bit more.
What is happening? 30 seconds, come on.
Yeah, makes me wonder what the plan is now. They might try to rush onto the site, but Tem is prepped up and ready again. Peeking on forwards doesn't matter when they don't make those shots go through. Tem's not able to find the microwave again. Double blast back comes on by. One back site gets exploded all over. That's Reunion with 3 left alive. Full team for Reform gets the plant down. And we do see the defending KJ trying to make that final stall. 13 seconds left. It's too little too late. It may be, but Apex pushes up. He's able to find one. May have to collapse on another, but no. Jerk with a 4K instead. It's going to deny the ace at the very least. DXM with 2 has to push on down highway side into the Viper pit, but instantly gets caught out. It's not going to be looking good for Reunion as Reform make their way through the upper part of the bracket.
Like I said, Reform was going to be a little bit of a test for them as they are very well known players across. And also, gotta say, really happy to see them sort of rocking other agents as well. We're starting to see more of them in this meta as well, where it's players picking agents for specific maps and responding to those types of gameplay as well. Got handed to it. There was a good early game for Reunited, but like just unfortunately for them, there was so many early rotates and just so many early plays that didn't really get them a lot of value that it started to slip from their grasp when it came to defense. And I think sometimes, especially with NA, being aggressive is just sometimes the sort of style that complements everybody. It certainly complements Jerks as we see their stats over here for MVP.
Yeah, and it's no surprise at all that Jurek is MVP of the matchup. 30 and 13 in itself is a huge margin. But on top of that, too, I think it was Jurek that made that amazing blast pack play into the middle of tiles and found the gravity well headshot. I mean, it's something like that you just can't teach.
Sure. I mean, that's what you want from your entry fragger is no fear. Get the first thing, get the showstopper right away or the ultimate and just start going for it. There was a couple of moments where I thought Rens would have been nice to see them drop that run it back a little bit more. Sure, they were fragging out in their own way, but hey, again, with duelist ultimates, a lot of the time, especially now, if it can just bait out a lot of utility, that's also value in and of itself, get some information, just works out a lot of ways. And especially with the run it back, you're not really sacrificing much. So as many times as you can get it, you should go for it. Not hold on to it like a bottle of wine. But hey, that's just me harping on it a little too much. But I still respect to Reunited. But really, GG to Reform. They are looking pretty good. And I would probably argue maybe even a finalist if we don't see any other amazing competitors later today, which we will, Keg.
Absolutely. And of course, speaking of wine, it is the 1 year anniversary of VCS. So maybe we'll pull some out after we're done casting tonight and celebrate a little bit more. But of course, the celebration isn't going to happen just yet because we still have plenty of games. We still have a few more coming out from Bemi and myself. And we'll be back in just a few minutes to make sure it all goes forwards.